Data Canvas is a feature that's been added into BigQuery not long ago. It's designed to help you with data exploration and ad hoc analytics need for your existing BigQuery tables or views. But one thing I haven't been able to figure out is exactly which user group this is mostly useful for, right? But today I'm going to show you a use case based on analyzing logs using Data Canvas, which in my view, I think is actually very convenient, especially because of the GenAI assist features that will help you to write SQL very quickly to analyze your application logs. So just to give you a bit of context, in here, I've got the log analytics enabled, which subsequently I've created a linked data set with the views that gives me access in the BigQuery UI to all of the logs I have in this project. I'm going to start by creating the data canvas so you know where to find it. If you go to the top, click on the down arrow, and then this is where you're going to see data canvas. Click on that, it's going to create a canvas for you. The easiest way to add any tables or views into the canvas is by going to the left navigation, click on those three dots, and then query in. In this case, I have a canvas open. I can use the current data canvas option. Keep in mind, as soon as you pull anything into the canvas, it now understands the context. I'll explain that to you in a minute on why this is super important. In the last few days, I've been creating a few videos, generating a lot of logs through the PubSub message queue into a dummy Cloud Run service. That has generated millions of rows of logs, and these logs have status code, ranging from the success ones, which is in the 200 range, and then I also have the failure ones in the 400 and 500 range. So let's say my task here is to actually look at the logs of those error ones specifically, and then to do a bit of analysis to look at the distribution of the different errors. To do that, what I can do is to go to query, and here's where it gets interesting. You see there's a bar here. This is the Gemini code assist to help you to write the SQL in this case. And the reason this stuff is important is because, first of all, you don't necessarily understand the schema yourself, right? You don't know how to exactly unpack those. Let's say you want to filter all of the Cloud Run services. How are you going to unpack that? You probably don't know where it is. And this is why the context in here is very important inside the canvas. If I say I only want to show only Cloud Run logs, and you see in this case, it generated a query and give me the Cloud Run revision only and filtering by the resource.type. This is not something you can easily find if it's the first time you're using this, right? You might not know that yourself. But this is not very useful. This only shows me all of the logs with no aggregation. It's not very useful to show me all of the error codes and in some way that I can actually see the distribution. So what I can say next is like, look, I only want the 400 and 500 range, right? And then group by the status code and do a count. So you see, this is all text. I'm just telling what to do with no additional prompt, right? So here you can see it's done a really good job. Is pull out the status from the HTTP request, right? And then the HTTP request status is set to between 400 and 599. This is going to include everything in the range. If I run this, now I can see the distribution of the 400 ranges and 500 ranges because I said I didn't want 200, right? So, but that's not all. Because just by looking at numbers, it's not exactly easy to see the distribution. So what I can do next is to scroll down and then go to visualize. And in this case, I think a pie chart would do the trick. So now you see it's created a pie chart for me with the 3 different error codes so you can actually see the distribution. But keep in mind, this stuff is very interactive. Let's say now I also want to include the 200 error code. I can just change it here, right? Now you have 200 range, the 400 and 500. After the change, I would be expecting it to give me, so in this case, I have the 500 range included. If I rerun this thing, it's going to give me 4 rows, right? With the 200 included as well. If I go to the bottom, I can simply regenerate the pie chart and it tells me the distribution with the 200 included. So you can see this stuff is actually very interactive and very useful. Keep in mind, I don't do log analysis every day. Every time I come back to this thing, I might actually forgot which column is in where, right? So with the help of code assist, this really reduced huge amount of time of me trying to figure out where to find these columns that I need to do the filtering or to do the group by. So that saves me a huge amount of time on analyzing the data I need. Let me know what you think, because I really think this can be very helpful if you're doing debugging, looking for errors, looking for issues, to try to see how big the problem is. This can actually save you a huge amount of time. I hope this is useful. Thank you. I'll see you next time.